All right. So we wanted to start off with a little bit of a warm up today. So before we go directly into some drastically tragic and wild events, it's been a couple of weeks since you first arrived at the training camp. It's been tough, but you've learned a lot. You feel like you kind of have a little bit more resources to survive, a little bit more knowledge with weaponry and things like that, and you formed kind of a camaraderie with the people around you. I'm going to describe, well, some of you. I'm going to describe one of your tent mates that you've shared, and then if you want to use that as kind of a guideline on how to describe your character after that, we'll go through that. So your tent mate was a young human individual, curly mop of hair, kind of thicker set of glasses, didn't really look prepared for the Flaming Fist when he came in, and he seems to spend a lot of time polishing other people's boots as a hobby. His name is Beager. He tends to stay in the corner of the tent, and over the last few weeks, you've learned that he's really good at sneaking up on people, but not at much else. Who would like to go next and describe what somebody might have learned about your character over the past couple of weeks?
Felden Wagglestaff over this. He spent the first week being a petulant little rich boy, and he was still not very happy about being here. He spent a lot of time playing like moody saxophone music in the dorms and thoroughly pissing everyone off. Although whenever you were doing training exercises, he would, this kind of I'm not going to be defeated kind of attitude started coming out. And as he started working together with people out there, he started to kind of chill out a bit in the dorms as well. And he's actually, he's an arrogant little shit, but he's good inside, and you can start to see that coming through.
I'll go. Globnik. He's kind of been an adventurous guy. He sailed the high seas. He's kind of just taken this in his stride, I think. He's met Riven Steelblade, and yeah, just cracked on with what they've got to do. And it kind of goes with his backstory of having gone to make his own way, forge his own path forwards. And yeah, it just got on with the task at hand, and is seeing what happens and what where he goes on his adventure forwards now, basically.
Yeah, Loga is one of these people that's kind of tough on the outside, but quite soft once you get to know them. Yeah, like an armadillo. She's spent most of her time sort of training as a soldier, defending the walls of the city that she grew up in. But as the fights sort of progressed out of the walls, she started to see like how war really is, and she didn't really like that. She's more of a protector than someone that wants to go out and find a fight.
If you'd shared that, then Felden would have also kind of come up with sentiments of, look, I was trying to get away from fighting, and I've come to Baldur's Gate, and suddenly I'm conscripted. Like, I don't want to see war either.
Yeah,
and kind of that would be a shared kind of, oh, you get it, all right.
Yeah, and we've kind of formed a bond over the training. You know, I hit a load of hurdles in the training, and you picked me up. You know, we kind of got over that.
Once the laughter stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have reminded you about them. Like, not.
Over the course of the last couple weeks, Riven would have been a little hesitant to share much of his past, preferring to stay more in the present and task at hand. He seems almost excitable, but not at the prospect of war, just the prospect of something different. So you can kind of get the impression that he's either running away from his past or wants to make a name for himself in some way. He's got a few odd behaviors that would probably have been picked up. He never throws anything away. If he finds like a broken arrowhead, he'll keep it. He stashes food he doesn't finish instead of tossing it away. And he just seems to be like, all his pockets are full all the time, mostly of useless crap. And he talks to himself a lot.
I don't want you putting any of your stuff in my barrel, especially old food. I've got a barrel strapped to my back.
Just store it in there, it'll be fine.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
we've
weird
been allowed to keep all of our weird shit, like my saxophone and his barrel and stuff.
Though they haven't really let you drag it out during training. There have been a few nights here and there where you've pulled out the saxophone to either entertain yourself or maybe some of your friends. You still have all of your things. They're just mostly kept in a chest inside of your tent. You all are a few miles away from Baldur's Gate out in the training fields, mostly tents and things like that. It's a little bit easier to train people outside of the city usually.
I'm not happy about living in a tent. You mean my clothes might be muddy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dear.
significant amount of them.
I've asked constantly for someone to clean my clothes.
I don't think you get it, do you?
You did get handed a washboard at one point and some soap whenever you asked for that.
I played the washboard beautifully, but I don't know how to use it.
Riven probably would have helped you out at least once or twice with.
If you had started doing it, I would have gone really happily, got all of my dirty stuff, given it to you and walked away. not kind of realized that was rude. I would have just gone, oh, you're doing my washing, thanks.
You will have gone through all of your pockets. So whatever is left in there, he probably pocketed.
He's taking it great. That's it.
Have like 3 gold extra and I'll remove it from my character sheet. I don't even know it's not there anymore.
It's just that pocket change. It disappears somewhere in the washer.
Yeah, that's where it goes.
I mean, that's probably pretty good pay for doing a load of washing.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You do know that the average yearly wage of a farmer is around 2 gold, so
Yearly.
Jeez.
I need a raise. That's
This is probably the most gold Riven has ever had.
yeah, probably. It's rough out there, but you all have had the past few weeks to kind of get used to working together on and off as a team. You've gotten to know each other, whether or not you necessarily wanted to, because that's what happens when you sleep in cots and tents next to people that snore. But a couple of weeks in, you're not too far from graduating. You all are at the top of your class for various reasons. Some of you have some strange abilities that they consider to be really great, and some of you are honestly just really good at fighting and seem to compete well in every competition. So that night there is set to be sort of a little bit of a graduation meal, lots of food, drinks. There's a few kegs that are brought out. You've not seen alcohol come out. There have been barrels of water around, but this is the first time a keg has been dragged out, and there's a little bit of a party being set up.
I'm drunk already.
I saw the keg, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you all are drinking and making merry and celebrating the possibility of getting to have a steady job soon with a decent income, the Flaming Fist team seems to make a fair amount of money, and they have a significant amount of legal leeway when it comes to Baldur's Gate because they're paid by the nobles there. The city guard is owned by the nobles, so just for future knowledge. As you all are making merry, variously drinking and everything else, can I have a perception check?
What, from everyone? Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Rob with disadvantage for being drunk.
Right, where's
Yeah.
perception again? Where are we? Perception.
Perception.
You're fine. It should be on your character sheet, which is underneath of the newspaper shaped icon.
That-
Yep, where on the character sheet is it? Again.
Mhm.
Let's move you down a bit.
Trying to remember where it is.
Perception.
Ah,
Got you.
Got it.
Got
There you go.
24 and a 6.
Nice.
you. Right, and then I check what I got there.
All right. So the 18 perception from Globnik. The rest of you are all having a pretty good time. You've got your comrades around you. You're all in and out of uniform to some extent, drinking. Globnik, you're a dwarf, aren't you?
I am a dwarf. That I am.
It has kind of always been a thing. You've drank with humans before. They are lightweights. Everyone here is stumbling over their feet and everything else, and you're just kind of having your 5th or 6th. You're fine, having a fine time. But you look off in the distance, and kind of in a eastwardly direction, you can see a red glow emanating from somewhere far off in the horizon. It doesn't appear to be the direction of Baldur's Gate, a different direction.
Okay. Where is it? So I investigate further to see where it's coming from, what it looks like.
I will have you make a survival check to see if you can place in your mind how far away that might be, what you're seeing. Survival is underneath of your skills. That'll be on the
Left hand side here.
left-hand side.
Normal roll.
There are several things in that direction, mostly fields a lot of the way. That's where Eltgard and Elturil are also, but if that's them, that is a very large something over there. The sky around it is lit red.
Okay. Could I tell my crew about it? Obviously, I tell everyone that what I've just seen.
Yeah.
I know they might be drunk. They might.
Lovely.
They might be thinking I'm because they are.
It can't be sunrise yet, Globnik. You must be drunk.
There we go. Already people would disbelieve in me, and I'm not the drunk one. That's the thing. What's the problem here?
Look,
Is anyone going to listen?
I'm listening right now. Now, sit back and listen to me play. And I'm going to play some smooth jazz.
Genuinely, I've seen like this red horizon outside. You can possibly see it. Yeah?
Globlik.
Look,
It's a sunrise.
what's the time right now? Do we know what the time is?
It is maybe 11:30 at night.
11:30 at night. So we've got a sunrise now, 11:30 at night. I'm not entirely sure about that, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think I can smell smoke.
As you're all either deciding to ignore this or variously looking towards it, you do start hearing some panic amongst the rest of the troop as people start whispering, that can't be Eltgard. It's too far away. It would have to be, the whole city would have to be on fire. That's days away. We wouldn't be able to see it from here.
If I hear people talking about Eltgard being on fire, I start listening. And I will stand up and be like, my home is on fire. What are you talking about? Where? And I'm gonna look in the direction and
Make a perception check.
I'm far too drunk.
There's a red glow over there, but
Are we sure it's not 11:30 in the morning?
It's definitely I'm not as half cut as you guys. It's definitely something like out there, yeah. Genuinely, yeah.
Where's the captain?
As you begin looking around for the captain, you can see that everyone is kind of now turned in this direction to kind of just look oddly at this situation, because there's no noise from over there, and you would think if it were something close, you would be able to hear it. But as you turn around to begin looking for the captain, that is when the red light goes out. It is gone. The sky goes dark.
Well, that didn't look good.
Would you normally be able to see the companion from this distance?
You would not.
So I wouldn't think the companion's gone out.
Not just based off of that, but
That's fine.
it's it's one of those things, like you definitely wouldn't normally see the companion from this distance, but you've seen it light up and flare a few times. Maybe that's what that looks like. You're not sure. You've never seen it from this distance.
Look, we need to find the captain. We need to find the captain now.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there a barrel of water or a rain catcher or something around?
There are several barrels of water around.
I'm going to go and climb up and dunk my face in it.
Okay. You attempt to sober yourself, dunking your face in the water. As he's running over to do that and begin looking for the captain, you all, if you are looking around for the captain, Nadal, may make a perception check to assist your friend while he sobers.
All of us.
Any of you that would care to look?
I think that's
Yeah.
a good idea, considering I'm one of the sober guys here.
Yeah, you might be better than us.
I'll try and be the responsible adult.
For the first time in your life, Phil.
I usually am, yeah. Everyone thinks I'm not, but I am.
I know.
So, Loga, you look around and you do spot the captain, but as you spot them, you see that they are kind of stopped in mid-track as somebody steps out of nothing. A cloud around them as an elven woman in kind of a long sort of mage casting dress with a staff in hand steps out of thin air next to your captain and begins talking rapidly to him. What languages do you speak?
I think it's just common, I think.
Welsh.
If you have an intelligence bonus, you also get some extra languages in addition.
Yeah,
to
mine's just
your-
common language.
Gotcha. You met enough elves to recognize that it is Elvish, that she's speaking to him rapidly right now. But as he looks at her and nods, you see him point over at your group. She looks over at you all, nods, touches his shoulder, and then walks away back into nothing.
When they look over, I want to step behind somebody, preferably someone who's larger than me.
I'm
Well,
just
even-
rubbing my eyes like, is this me being drunk or?
I'm probably wider from the bottom down, but you can probably peek over the top of my head.
Yes.
I can
So-
I can curl down into a little ball if I need to.
Okay. Well, the captain doesn't seem to be staring directly at you, but he does begin making his way towards the group in general. And he raises a hand as he approaches and just kind of a wave and says, "Recruits, how sober are you?"
I didn't do it.
Please,
Wait,
very
wait.
sober, very sober, sir.
I'm really
Haven't drugged
sober.
John.
He kind of looks at the ground. Oh god. Okay. Listen, I'm about to give you some news that's probably not going to be the easiest to take right now, but it's important. You all have been the heads of your class, and we need to assign someone to a special mission to go to Baldur's Gate immediately, if not sooner. You would be traveling by yourselves. He looks out into the distance and says, "I've been told Elgard has fallen."
I would fall to the floor. My family, sir.
He kind of
The order of the companion. Oh,
I don't have much information for you yet. We only know that it's happened. They think the light went out, but we don't know yet. I can try to find you more information towards your family. Do you know where in the city they lived?
They were all in the Order of the Companion, sir.
He nods.
The Companion is out.
That's the reports that we're hearing. I haven't been able to confirm it yet.
He would fall into stunned silence, just sitting on the floor.
He nods. Take the night, get ready, and make your travel towards Baldur's Gate. I'm told there are already people from Elgard on their way there, so maybe you can find someone you know.
Thank you, sir.
He nods and pushes another keg over towards you guys and says, just make sure you get some sleep. And he walks back away, and you can see that he's moving between other soldiers, talking to the supply tents. It looks like he's getting gear packs together for you all.
Old Felden waggles staff a pat on the back, a friendly pat on the back. This is like a consolation for the bad news, but I take it quite well. Feel like I'm up for a challenge. Sounds like a suicide mission, but sound positive about it. But yeah, but I feel a bit bad for Felden waggles staff.
This is why we're here, right? We can help somebody, hopefully. And Riven kind of gets like a sad but hopeful look on his face.
Good. What could take out the entire city of Elgard? That's not the companion is gone, the gift from the gods, the orb that shone in the sky and protected the entire land from the undead, gone. The Order of the Companion. If the city has fallen, then the greatest order of paladins in all the land has gone. Hope. I don't think there is hope.
There is always hope. Of course, there's always hope. Klobnik is full of hope and adventure. It's understandable to think that right now.
Riven just goes over to the keg.
I offer Waggle staff my hand to help pick him up off the floor.
He will take it and stand up.
Yeah.
I'll have another drink as well. I probably said before we.
Maybe we should get an early night to be refreshed in the morning and find out what's happened.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably.
some of you definitely sleep better than others that night. Throughout the night, you can hear people shifting around, things moving. It seems like you're not the only team being dispatched to various places. By the time morning rolls around, there are 4 fresh survival packs set out with bedrolls on top and about 10 days worth of rations for your trip to Baldur's Gate. By this time, the rumors everywhere. Elgard has fallen. Nobody knows quite what happened, but there's rumors spreading from refugees on their way from Elgard to Baldur's Gate.
When Felden hears about refugees, you can see a glimmer of that might be, if there are survivors, some of my family might be alive, and there's a extra kind of urgency to his step and getting ready.
I want to try and overhear as many of the rumors as I can.
As you begin your travel, and as soon as you hit the main road, there start to be a fair amount of refugees from Elkgard within the first few days of your otherwise fairly calm travel. So if you want to make a general perception check or a persuasion check, if you want to stop and talk to people, you can try to ask particular people what happened. You pass all sorts of people. There's what appears to be a couple of halfling farmhands with a cart and a donkey and not much else. Kind of a richer individual with a carriage, but the carriage appears to be packed with children in various clothes.
Anyone short, I am rushing over to him, grabbing them and turning them round and going, Wagglestaff, Wagglestaff. Have you seen a Wagglestaff?
The halfling that you turn around says, I'm sorry, sir, I haven't. It's been, we haven't found his sister yet. It was kind of chaotic when we left.
What happened?
With your perception of 7, there's not a huge amount of detail to the rumors, but you just keep hearing people say the companion went out and Elkgard is gone. When you ask what happened, that is what they say. It's gone.
Gone?
It's
Like wiped off the face of the planet? What do you mean?
he points over to the woman with the carriage, and you can see she's a fairly noble dressed individual. You might kind of recognize her a little bit, Rob, as somebody that has a fair amount of money in Elkgard, but was pretty good about being distributive with it. Like, she wasn't one of those nobles that didn't pay attention. And it's obvious that she picked up most of the orphanage in her carriage to bring towards Baldur's Gate at this point. And she looks over towards you and says, I saw some of it. I was at the orphanage on the way back into town. I had been to Baldur's Gate. There was a flash, and then dark, incredibly dark, and it was just gone. There's a crater. It's just gone. The entire perimeter of the city was just a flash of light, a flash of dark, and gone. There's the chasm left behind is several stories deep, and no one's tried to venture down yet, but there's nothing visible down there.
This must be the work of some great evil. To extinguish the companion must have taken great power, great evil.
She nods. I haven't been able to figure out what happened. Everyone's so mixed up. It's only the people that were on the outskirts of town that made it out.
Have you got gold for the children?
I've gold enough to take care of them. Our bigger issue is going to be getting through the gate. They've put a halt on refugees up ahead, and she looks down at your uniform, and you're the ones enforcing it.
Oh,
Have we got orders for when we get there?
You are supposed to find Captain Zodge.
Captain Zodge. I mean, I'm fairly adventurous. I'm just interested to go. I want to go fight something or go for an adventure. Not particularly interested in the cause and causation of it, but I just want to get my stuff and go see this captain.
All right.
I sort of lean toward Felden and say quietly in hopes that she doesn't hear, but Do you think maybe we could escort them in? They're children. They don't deserve whatever fate lies outside the walls.
That we have our orders. We can talk to the captain. Let me take her name, and we'll talk to the captain.
Okay, I like that idea.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
I'm happy to go along with it.
And I will say, my lady, we have orders. We cannot just say we will let you in, but give me your name and I will speak it to our captain, and if we can find lodgings for at least the children, then I will let them know. I will pass your name on. That is all I can do.
Marina Silverswift. I've heard that they're setting up tents outside the gate, so you'll likely find us there.
Very well. We have to go, but thank you for the information, and good luck.
Good luck for you as well. So, as you all head closer towards the city, you find yourself approaching the famous Basilisk Gate. Easy to see how it's named, as carved onto the top of the area are these basilisk type gargoyles that hang over the top. At the gate portcullis, you can already see from here that there is a mass of refugees outside in tents and everything else, people from El Toril. More strange, you see a group of Flaming Fist individuals standing at the gate, but they are not holding people back from coming from inside. Most of the refugees seem to be willing to wait outside for just a while and hopefully get processed inside. But what they are doing is arguing with a group of Baldarians who are trying to leave and not being let leave. There is a minor amount of scuffle back and forth between the two groups as you...
Can you just tell me that lady's name again?
Mariana Silverswift.
Can we continue listening to the conversation that they're having and the scuffle?
Sure.
Get any information from that?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a perception check. Nice. Listening around, it sounds like these people are wanting to leave because they believe that Baldur's Gate is next. Eltgard has fallen. If somebody's taking out the major cities, it would do well not to be in one right now. And they are in quite a panic wanting to leave.
Is
That,
Go
I was
ahead.
going to say that doesn't sound like that's not bad advice, really. I mean, I'm just listening and holding back right now.
Is this what the same thing that happened to the city to the south as well? Before we were conscripted, wasn't another city taken?
Yeah, it was a smaller one, so there was some consideration it might have been an earthquake.
But now another one's gone. It's
Does
Kind of a much bigger deal, yeah.
okay.
does it? Coincidence? I think not.
I do not think so. We should go and help our comrades. Shouldn't we?
As you all are, go ahead.
We could at least ask where the captain is.
Who is leading us? Should one of us be in charge?
Do we need a leader?
That's what I'm asking.
Are you putting yourself up? Are you putting yourself forwards for it, Rob?
Well,
No, for you putting yourself up for it, Felden Wagglestaff.
well, I am a noble. It is my right to lead, but we have all been trained together. I do not want to I do
I'm
not to
much
assume.
better with my blades than my words. I don't mind following for now.
I
You
feel
seem to
like
know more what's going on as well. It's your hometown.
I feel like this is a democracy between. But I feel like that you have quite a lot of information, Felden Wagglestaff. So perhaps you might be able to point us in the right direction.
Or at least know what the right questions to ask.
That might be a thing, yes.
Well, I won't do anything without checking in, but shall we go and talk to them and find this captain?
That's a solid idea.
And I will lead this merry band of fools to the gate.
All right.
Immediately takes the reins. It's like you fools.
So as you lead them towards the gate, there is a little bit of scuffling happening between the bunch, but you manage to find one of the Flaming Fist who's not currently occupied and just kind of seems to be watching from the side in like a what are they thinking they're doing sort of way. As you approach, he nods at you and says, "New recruits?"
We've been sent from the training grounds to seek Captain.
I've forgotten his name.
Yarub.
Zaj?
That's closer.
Yeah.
Zaj.
It's Captain something. Zod.
All right. He nods at you and goes, "Oh, the special talent, right?" And he moves off. And
I think there was a dig at us, guys.
a few minutes later, you see a man exit out of what you would appear to be, what you would guess to be the captain's kind of area of the front gates. And he goes walking by the group of townspeople trying to leave in the Flaming Fist. And you watch as one of the townspeople finally gets angry enough to throw a punch at a guard. And you watch as that captain grabs them by the collar, gives them a good upper left hook, and then drops them on the ground and continues walking towards you. The rest of the crowd seems to disperse slightly as it seems like maybe getting violent.
You go to check on the townsperson.
Continue.
You want to check on the townsperson?
Yeah.
Okay. You scuttle away from your group to go check on them. He just appears to be a farmhand of some variety, a little bit panicked at the moment.
Yeah, I'll help them to their feet. Just check them over to see if they're okay.
They have a pretty good bruise going right here, and you don't think they've dislocated the jaw or anything, but it's gonna be quite a sight when they wake up the next morning. But you can help them up, dust them off.
Yeah.
It's but a scratch.
He's with his head hanging off.
Yeah.
You definitely see like a few of the guards kind of giving you side eye when you do that. Like, what's this guy doing? All right. As Captain Zod makes his way over to the rest of the party, he nods and says, "So, you're the new."
Yes, we've been sent. We were told to come and report to you.
Correct. We have a few situations on our hands. Go on.
I'm from Eltergard. Do we have any news? Is the Order of Companions my family, sir? Any news at all?
Well, I hate to be the one to report that some members of your family might still be running around, but not necessarily doing the best of things. We've had issues with the Hell Riders lately. You know that the Hell Riders are the nicknames for the companions. Since Eltgard fell, they seem to think Baldur's Gate is at fault. We have two of them in our holding cells right now because they attacked guards trying to come into the city. And he shrugs. I can't get a word straight out of them. They don't seem to be in their right minds. And so far, they're the only two that we've found. We've been talking to the refugees somewhat, but that crisis is causing other issues within the city.
What are our orders?
We're busy arresting occasional apologies, but murderous hellraisers, and looks around all of the refugee things, keeping everything else in order while people are trying to go in and out. Baldur's Gate has had an issue for a long time, and we thought we had taken care of it, but it has sprung back up while we are otherwise occupied. What do you know about the Dead Three?
What do I know
What do
about
we
the
know
Dead
about the
Three?
Dead Three?
Make a,
I've never heard of him before. Not in my life.
if you think you might know, you could make a history or a religion check.
Do I know?
Oh, I've got quite a good history. Yeah, let's do that.
I probably wouldn't know.
No, I don't think I
Keep
can.
rolling fours. I've rolled many fours. My dice don't like me.
All right. Well, Thalden Wagglestaff can't remember that far back in history. Loga, you can kind of recall them. Trio of gods, kind of lower end gods, the bargain rate ones that don't get their own temples usually, tend to have a lot of cultists, that sort of things. But these in particular are kind of band gods most places because they are the god of death and necromancy, the god of shadow and darkness, and the god of pain and torture.
Or the fun ones.
Oh,
They don't ring a bell, sir.
they're bad. They, in days of old, we had much more of a problem, but it seems to have started back up. People are disappearing on the streets at night, and we think they're being taken for sacrifice, judging by the lack of them reappearing anywhere else or in any other city, or people that wouldn't necessarily run away. Grandmothers, shopkeepers, waitresses. So we think that they're active again. What I would like for you to do, and what I am willing to offer both my gratitude and a 200 gold bonus for, and trust me, my gratitude is worth much more to you, is for you to go and meet a contact at the Elf Song Tavern. She has information on possibly where the cultists might be meeting. She does a little bit of spy work for us. Be nice to her. She's got very powerful friends.
Song Tavern. Okay.
Her name is Tarina.
Rena.
If anyone knows about anything going on with the cultists, it'll likely be her. She might even have an idea of where. If you can find out where, I'd like for you to clear them out so that there's less general murder happening in the streets.
Yes, sir.
Getting
So-
cultists. That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Sir, if I may, if you can't get any sense out of the Hell Riders, then if we do this job, maybe I might recognize them, sir, or my name might mean something. But
He nods. We will make them as comfortable as we can until you get back, and we don't have any plans on executing them. They don't seem to be in their directly right mind at the moment, but they certainly can't be let out for the safety of the city. Hence why no one's leaving and why no one's being let in. The entire security of the city is at risk with the fall.
yeah, I understand, sir. We will, and I'll look back at the other members of the party. We'll go and do this then, sir. Yes,
Of course.
guys.
Yeah.
Nod. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're up for that. I'm definitely go.
All right.
As we kind of I'm assuming I know the elf song's famous, isn't it?
It is a famous tavern of Baldur's Gate, yes.
I'm assuming, being a bard who's come to Baldur's Gate to make the money, I might have been there and know the way. Cool.
Actually, more than one of your party would probably know the way, so it is up to whoever would care to share the information, or you can make a survival check or a history check or just a general perception check.
If you feel like you know the way, we can follow you.
I can help lead the way.
I'm following at the moment. You guys lead the way. I have no idea about the city.
As
All right.
Riven walks, it almost seems like he's unconsciously taking the lead, knowing exactly where to go.
Okay.
I'm still in a bit of shock, and kind of now that we've been given a task, I'm happy to follow.
That is fine. So you all make your way from the Basilisk Gate. Should now be visible for you on your map of Baldur's Gate that we have up.
As we're traveling, can I kind of look and see if anyone that I used to travel with is around?
Sure. You can go ahead and make a perception check. And Mike, can I go ahead and have you make a perception check too?
Finally, a good perception roll.
Why not
All
so
right.
good?
That's okay. So as you're looking around, you don't see anyone super familiar to you. Maybe people that you've passed before, a few shopkeepers that you recognize here and there. But with that 60, you do hear a strange noise. It's this slap, 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 slap noise, kind of coming down an alleyway.
I want to head sort of toward that, like just loosely heading that direction, but keeping an ear out for which direction it goes.
Well, ahead of you, out from between an alleyway, you can just make out what appears to be a white goose with a wizard hat on, running down an alleyway, looking from side to side and running around the street.
Do I see the goose?
If it is pointed out to you with your current perception of 4, you have not yet noticed. No, this goose is not a normal occurrence in Baldur's Gate.
I want to dash ahead and tackle it.
Oh, geese are dangerous. Like, they're proper dangerous. Even non-wizard geese, they're dangerous.
I've never had an issue with a goose.
All right, you can certainly try to tackle a goose. Just
He
go ahead
was
and
going
roll.
to throw his dagger at it, but I was like, it's wearing a hat. I don't think I should do that.
Well, as you take off, kind of running that direction in a dead run, Loga, you look out towards where your friend is running, and you see Ganderfrost.
I go running up to Ganderfrost and
You hear footsteps behind you as somebody else is now running with you. As you're not sure if the party member is coming to help you or what, but as you're running towards this goose, if you'd still like to tackle it, go ahead and make an unarmed attack roll. We'll go with that. We just won't do damage since you're trying to tackle a goose. Until it bites you, then you might have damage.
Catch the goose, catch the goose.
An 8. You are surprised by the amount of dexterity in this goose as it hops to the side and says, "Hey, watch it, bub."
I'm sorry.
As you're awkwardly standing there wondering about a talking goose, Loga runs up.
yeah, and I pick up Ganderfrost and give her a hug.
She says, "You made it out. I've been waiting forever."
Yeah, sorry, we've had things come up. We're now on a mission to find these necromancers.
You have a talking goose.
I do.
Does
I
it-
picked it.
I'm still
Did it lay golden eggs?
This is a goose. Doesn't matter whether we're talking or not. It's a goose. They're scary.
You're not wrong.
Nah, she doesn't lay golden eggs. She does
Okay.
good tricks though.
Riven is simply perplexed. He has no idea what he's looking at.
That's okay.
Can you understand us? And I'm addressing the goose.
It looks at you with its beady black eyes and says, "Yes? Do you need me to talk slower?"
No, talking gnomes are normal. Talking geese are not. I'm Felden. It is a revelation to meet you,
Yanderfrost, wizard.
Frost.
I'm just avoiding eye contact and looking at the floor.
It does have those beady little black goose eyes too, so it's like
Yeah. I'm just looking away. I'm not looking at this goose. I don't want to make eye contact in case it decides to attack me.
looking at this goose a little closer, you can all see that it's wearing a backpack of sorts, but it looks like its backpack is a spell book, and it has a kind of a amulet on around the front of its neck.
Globnik's just super spun out with this thing. Talking, but let alone backpack.
Globlik, have you had a bad experience with a goose?
I've had several bad experiences with geese. Several. None of them have ever been any good. And they've never talked and had backpacks on either. So yeah, this is I'm not into this whatsoever. No.
I mean, I have to admit I have not met a talking goose either, but he seems to be friends with our companion here. Ganderfrost, was it?
Yes.
My friend here seems to be slightly wary of you. Will you promise not to attack him? If you know, if is that a thing you can say to him?
If you don't try to eat me, I probably won't attack you.
I'm going to stay my distance as well as not eat you anyway. I'm not sure if I trust your word because you're a goose. Yeah.
Are you being speciesist?
I've been. There's too many times it's happened to me. I'm afraid. Too many times.
She looks towards Loga and shakes her head. Some people and their prejudices.
Is it because you're slightly taller than him?
Don't talk about that, all right?
To be fair, the goose might be slightly taller than me because I'm a gnome.
Yeah, it's roughly the size of a raptor.
Like you think you're scared of this goose? It's probably its head is taller than me.
With the wizard hat on, definitely.
I have to look up to address it.
And some intimidated. No.
I mean, having an extra friend, especially one who's a wizard and can probably go unnoticed, is probably useful. Guys, are we ready for this? Are we
I don't think you can be ready for this.
like?
I was born ready.
I don't think we've got a choice.
Now.
I mean, but Globnik, we're going up against 3 gods I've never heard of, and they're cultists. My city's been destroyed. The city protected by the companion is gone.
If
It's
they're
not the first
never heard of, I mean, how bad can they be, Rob? Or Belgium. If they're gods we've never heard of, how bad can they be?
I mean, the Globnik, they're gods.
They're
Yeah,
pretty powerful.
And we've got a magic goose, which you can take care of.
Do you know
Come on.
who the gods are?
I don't, but I'm going to be positive about this one, and I haven't heard of them before. So
Yeah.
I've read about them in books. They're not good news.
What do they? What? I've never heard of them. If you tell me what you know, please.
And I tell him what I know from the books that I've read. We're up against like necromancers, and they're probably the ones that are taking the.
That can't be a coincidence. Necromancy and the undead, and Elturel has fallen again. That cannot be a coincidence. Do you know the history of Elturel?
No, I don't know the history of Avernus.
Yeah, brief. The companion appeared in the sky and wiped out a necromantic army. It's been sitting there protecting against the undead for what we're talking 80 years,
Give or take, yeah.
for about 80 years. Just no one dead could survive its light, and then it goes out, and suddenly these gods of the undead are mentioned. That cannot be. That can't be a coincidence.
No,
The people going missing here also fueling whatever. They said there was a hole where the city used to stand. Could they be sacrificing people to open some kind of gate or gates?
Look, guys, this is my family. That's my family are gone. And if this is to do with it, I have to see it through. We have to do this, and we have to find out what happened for them.
I agree. We need to go to the tavern and find this contact, and hopefully we can find your family along the way, and they've made it out.
And look, right, I'm sorry if I was a dick. I don't mean to be a dick. Just
We're all a product of our upbringing. It's all right.
I need your help now, yeah. And we can do this, yeah. I'll help you. I'll we get into fights. Globnik, I know you can hit with the best of them. I know that. I can help back you up, and we'll do this, yeah. We'll go, and we'll get vengeance for my family, yeah.
come on then, Phil.
Yeah, definitely.
Magic goose with your pack, and we'll go and kill the people that went after your family.
Right. Come on then. And he'll stride off towards the pump,
All right.
hiding the fact that he's crying his eyes out.
So, as you all start your way back in, I believe we were headed to the Elf Song Tavern, which a few of you are somewhat familiar with, being either from Baldur's Gate or knowing of the famous Elf Song Tavern. Those of you that do know it is famous, you know what it's famous for. It's haunted. There is a ghostly elf woman that has never been seen, but her voice occasionally comes across lilting, usually something almost a siren song-esque, songs about somebody being lost at sea and losing her sailor love and what have you. But it's a consistent presence within the tavern, and as you enter into the tavern proper, you can begin to hear it. Let me pull up a map.
That's all going on in the tavern.
Assuming the big ogre out the front is not attacking us.
As you approach, that large ogre you can see is wearing a name tag on his apron, and his name tag says Skooma.
Kuma.
Skooma.
Interesting.
I know what I think it's referencing to.
Yeah.
But yes, as you approach the tavern, he is visible, as well as just inside the door, you can see the other bouncer for the tavern is a animated suit of armor that is wearing a name tag that says Clank. Inside of the tavern proper, you can see that there is an elven individual behind the bar. You would assume that to be the proprietor, and quite a few just kind of town individuals down in the lower floors. You can see there's a set of stairways that goes up, a couple of seemingly more private rooms or maybe doors to kitchens around.
I quite like the looks of this bar.
Thank you. I made it. The map, not the bar.
Did we get a physical description of the woman we were looking for?
You know that she tends to be at wherever the gambling is happening in the tavern. You know that she is a half-elven woman, usually dresses in black, kind of maybe not the most non-pirate looking wear.
Keep an eye out for that person, but
You don't see her on the lower floor currently.
Should we ask for her whereabouts?
Yeah. Do you want to go and ask the barmaid? I'll ask the bouncer.
Okay. Which bouncer would you like to ask? The animated suit of armor or Skuna?
Probably Skooma. I'm not entirely certain an animated armor can talk.
I can try.
See, that's where I think I'm going to go and ask the animated suit of armor.
All right.
Go ahead.
What would you like to ask the animated suit of armor?
Where is it? Do you know the whereabouts of this lady?
The head kind of tilts and the armor clanks as it nods its head.
Are you sure?
Clank, 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 clank.
Okay, all right. I'll give up on that one. I'll admit defeat.
Skooma,
Yes, how can I help you?
we're looking for a half-elven lady by the name of Karina.
Oh, pretty lady. Yeah. She upstairs gambling usually.
Thank you, and I will toss him a copper.
Oh, thank you. Big spenders. As he tucks it into a pocket.
And I go and tell the rest that she's probably upstairs.
Okay.
I want to keep an eye out in case anyone's looking at us too closely, given what we know.
Go ahead and make a general either perception or insight check. It's up to you, depending on what information you want to garner.
I'll do insight for a change. Ugh, another 10.
The only thing that you get is something that is very familiar to you. You know how people look at the Flaming Fist in some of the lower parts of the city. You know exactly what they think of them in some parts of the city. It is probably not the most friendly place for you in here in full uniform, but you don't feel like anybody's planning on attacking you so much as if somebody else does, there's a good possibility everyone else will just accidentally be looking out the window at the time.
I'll try and pull my cloak over a bit. It's still uniformed, but just kind of.
Are we all going upstairs to talk to her, or do we need to be discreet.
I feel like we might need to be discreet.
I don't want to go on my own though. Someone else come with me, and the other two of you watch out. They don't seem to be looking at us very kindly.
Right, so I come with you because I'm a dwarf. I'm level 2.
Yeah, come on, Globek. We'll go.
Okay.
Well, let's find us a table then.
Right. You can move your characters to whatever table you might like to occupy. There's some private ones in the little rooms. It doesn't look like they're really reserved per se. The bartender is up at the bar, and you other two are headed upstairs.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to keep my back to the wall.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Right. Just above where the regular map is, you should be able to see the upstairs, and you can see an individual that matches the description of what you're looking for. Are you all downstairs getting drinks first, or do you sit down first?
I'll probably take a seat first. The Gander Frost on another seat.
As you sit down with Riven and Ganonfrost, the bartender comes over with a tray of kind of fluted, almost champagne-style glasses. And he nods and says, "Officers, hope we're not in any trouble today," as he sets them down and says, "Elven Quest on the house. It's very delicious. Anything else I can get for you?"
A loaf of bread for my friend.
Absolutely. You need any cheese with that?
Yes, please. You're playing us a little song.
The bard just accidentally.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Forgot what I was doing. Well, you all have your drinks downstairs. Upstairs, whenever you walk up, you can see that there is a significant amount of gambling happening across the two tables. Multiple different individuals, from some sort of shipwright to what outright looks like, burglars, what is very apparently a rat catcher, as they have a cage full of rats next to them at their table.
Oh, I want one. I'm not there, but I want one.
A rat.
I'm gonna make my way towards
I
one.
love rats.
Sit down, see what the game is, what's going on.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, a really popular game in the area is called Baldur's Bones. It's mostly tossing dice. It's not too unlike Yahtzee.
Is this the table with is that the half elf here?
Your friend Tarina is actually currently represented, because that's what it came with, by a bearded man.
Oh,
Because her class is thug, so that is what the thug token looks like.
as long as we're at the same table with her, that's all.
Very stereotypical.
Yeah, very. You sit down at the table.
Offended.
I am absolutely a thug. Yeah, it's why I agree the bid. They wouldn't let me in the club without it.
So as you approach the table, she is definitely playing a game of Baldur's Bones with a man whose name you catch as Wall Knightley, some sort of ship hand, who is arguing with her very loudly that she's cheating. And she's arguing back that she's not, as you all sit down.
Can you say? I might actually take his side on this one. I might have a subconscious bias.
All right.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what they're arguing about. Well, I'm more interested to know what they're arguing about. Well, who's cheating?
Okay. Well, as you're listening in, you hear Wall, and this is he's a human, no real visible eyebrows, shaved bald, very obviously spends a lot of time in the sun, shipwrights type clothes. He gets up from the table pretty abruptly and sets down a small stack of silver, slamming it on the table, and says, "Tarina, mark my words, one of these days, you're going to get yourself in trouble doing this." She laughs as she continues chugging down some wine and looks over towards you all and says, "Fancy a game?"
I mean, as long as we can all cheat.
I would never cheat. I'm offended at the suggestion.
I mean, aren't as long as we're all playing by the same rules, it doesn't matter, does it?
Well, the only rule around here is don't get caught.
Well, exactly.
Sounds like cheating, then, isn't it?
And I will pull out a pile of silver from my pouch and set it on the table.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to get into this game.
All right. Well, while I look up the rules for Baldur's Bones real quick, what are the rest of you doing downstairs? Are you watching out for anybody in particular, just surveying the crowd?
Feeding Gal the Frost the bits of bread and cheese. Just looking around.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out for anyone particularly who might look shifty in the sense of they're a cultist, not shifty in the sense that they might be another rogue.
Okay. Well, while that is happening, you all hear the elven voice singing again in the background. Wagglestaff, do you speak Elvish?
I believe I only speak Gnomish and Common.
Got it. And Globnik, I'm going to make the assumption you don't speak Elven.
No, I barely speak English.
Although you might know a few words, because weren't you?
I mean, I've got a fondness for elves, yeah, but I don't pick up a lot, yeah. It
fair.
goes in one ear and it goes out the other ear, a lot of it, okay?
You can enjoy an Elven opera, but that doesn't mean you know what they're saying.
No, exactly.
Gotcha. Well, then the only one to notice is probably the elf in the group.
Yeah.
Okay. So the song changes. You know for a fact that the song has never changed. You suddenly hear lyrics coming from it, talking about waters, woods, and hill. And then you hear familiar words. Oh, sing a song of Elturel. As the voice said, when foes are at her door, her fields have been torn by cloven feet from some infernal shore. Arise, the mighty hell riders, take up your swift keen swords, and then charge into the hellish fray to scatter devil hordes. You know that this is different, and you look over at the bartender, and he is staring at the ceiling, just perturbed.
Loga, I think we may need to go and find the others sooner rather than later. I don't know if you noticed, but the song changed and the words were perturbed, being, and he's still kind of like trying to look in. Is there like a distinct area of which the voice is coming from, or is it just sort of like everywhere?
It seems to echo off of the walls. You know that nobody's ever actually seen the spirit itself. She's just heard very frequently. Has been since the tavern was built.
He'll start getting up off the chair.
Yeah,
Alright.
I can sense that you're distressed, so I pick up Gander Frost and start to follow you.
Okay.
Does the half elf across the table do anything?
Make an insight check.
You can ask me that.
Oh no, game mechanics.
Didn't roll a 4. 15.
All right. Looking at her, you see her eyebrows raise as the song starts singing, and she kind of looks around, scoffs a little bit, and drinks some more.
Do we hear the song change even if we don't know what the song means?
I will say with that insight check, you are able to garner that it has changed, and it does sound a little different from what you first heard. You don't speak Elvish, so you can't be 100% on what exactly is different, but yeah, it's a little different.
The change of songs not to your tastes.
Just a little dark, especially given recent events.
Eltergard.
Yeah, she's never sung about that before, or the Hell Riders or the Companion.
She, forgive me. I'm from Eltergard, and is she? What is she singing about?
I'm sorry for your loss. She's talking about it. Fields being trampled by cloven feet or something, devilish hordes. It sounds really, really dramatic.
Um, names.
What are names?
Arena?
That is my name, yes.
We were told to seek some information from you.
By who?
By our captain.
Your captain have a name?
Yes, but I can't remember it.
Zord. Something.
It is Zodge, you are correct.
Zodge. Captain Zodge.
Oh, Zaji. Yeah. Well, what did he want me to tell you? Anything in particular? Like pirate ships? I don't know where most of them are right now, but I can give you names.
The you happy to talk out here?
Are you renting a room?
I will blush and be like, no, not at all. Not that kind of bard. I will say the cultists for the gods, the three gods,
The Dead Three.
the dead three. Yes.
Okay, I thought you were stuck on cultists. I was gonna say there's too many of them to tell you even to begin. But the Dead Three cultists specifically. Oh yeah, I could tell you where they hang out.
And what's that going to cost us?
How are you with that weapon?
My saxophone or the rapier?
The pointy one. Unless you wield the saxophone in battle.
Sometimes. Me and my companions can fight.
Oh. Well, I've got a little problem. I expect to show up sometimes later this evening. If you could take care of the problem, I'm sure I could relay the information.
I look at Globnik like, are we allowed to do this? Like, what? I don't know.
I'm up for it. Sure.
You do know that you have dispensation to normally you would arrest people. You would normally arrest people, beat them up, whatever you need to do. In the specific case of cultists, you are allowed to kill them. Anybody else, you probably have to beat up, arrest, or at least try not to overkill.
They will be coming here.
Yeah, it's so silly. They think I cheated at Baldur's Dice. And they seem to think I owe them some money, which I don't. And
They possibly think that.
I really don't know. It's the strangest thing. About that time, your other two friends come up the stairs.
The friends I mentioned. I'm sure we could take care of your problem for you if you. Yes, we can do that. And I will kind of put my arm out and gesture for the others to join us.
Riven kind of just beelines toward you guys. And I hate to intrude, but there was something ominous about that song. Maybe now's not the time. What is this I hear about helping?
This is Tarina. She mentioned the song too, so Tarina's not very good at hiding the fact that she cheats. And, I'm sorry, Tarina, but the gentleman who was here when we turned up was accusing you of cheating, and you've just told us that you need help with someone who's going to come because you owe them money and they think you're cheating. So I would suggest you need to get better at cheating or stop cheating.
Yeah.
And I think you need to learn how to use the word allegedly.
You allegedly need to get better at hiding the fact you're cheating. We've agreed that we will help Tarina with her problem, and in exchange she will tell us where we might find the cultists that follow the Dead Three.
I mean, I'm up for a fight, but I'm not sure I legitimately believe her or not. You know, doesn't seem like the kind of person that you want to believe.
Are
Well,
you
we need
saying
that
this?
information,
Saying that
so-
out loud?
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying that out loud. I'm saying I'm up for a fight, though. I'll go along with it regardless. But she seems shady. You know.
She kind of looks around at the rest of the bar. I don't think I'm any more shady than anyone else in here.
I mean, it's a direct order from our captain to come to see her and ask her for information. So I think we need to help her if we're going to get this information.
We got to do.
Maybe.
What is it that we have to do? Is it just rough them up, or because I don't know if I feel comfortable killing anyone who isn't, deserving of it.
Well, he's a pirate. Does that help?
He looks down at himself, forgetting that he's still wearing the armor, and not really.
Oh, I don't know then. I mean, I have information you need, and surely you don't want me dead. So I don't know if you have much of a choice.
Tarina, we will take care of your problem.
Well, thank you.
Once we have, we will expect payment as information as where we might find these cultists. Yes.
Yeah.
Then we have an accord.
All right. Do you want me to be in the room when they show up, or should I make myself scarce?
It's probably better that you're in the room so you can make sure that we have the right pirate.
Feel like it'll be fairly obvious.
Fine, then be wherever you wish. Just don't get in the way.
All right, I can do that.
Guys, shall we do you know what time they are likely to come? Evening.
What time is it now? Like 3? Yeah, probably after sundown. They're kind of night people.
Then shall we go and have a conversation and a walk around, and then we will come back at sundown.
Sure, I'll be right here. She continues drinking and sets up another game of Baldur's dice, looking around the room for a victim.
I will quite urgently kind of trying to usher everyone out.
All right. I'll move you all to the lower floor and you can canoodle yourselves about where you please.
I don't know how I feel about this, guys. I mean,
Me neither. Well, I mean, I'm up for a fight, but I mean, she's clearly shady as hell. I'm not sure I believe she's going to go through with it either.
I've done my fair share of shady things, but most of that was out of necessity, survival, not because I cheated in a game of dice.
I don't know what else we can do to get this information.
Would one of you, actually, Mike, can you roll me a d20 for Ganderfrost? I'm going to have her do an Arcana check for you. Rob the Bard can also do an Arcana check if you would like.
Ganderfrost. I'm looking in the other direction. I'll just.
Like, I'm not even looking here. All right, 12.
Arcana. 11.
You and the goose share a moment of magic consideration as you sit there and go, is there another way? And it does occur to you that there is a way to get answers out of somebody if somebody else has already killed them, but you're not sure how you feel about that option.
I mean, look, we could. We've been ordered to do this. This is our job now, and if this is connected to what happened in Outerwell, then I have a duty to see it through and do it. And we said we were going to follow this through.
I'm with you all the way.
Thank you, my friend. Look, Globnik, if we do this and she doesn't tell us, then you can hit her until she does tell you.
I mean, I'm up for hitting somebody regardless, but you know,
You might get too.
I don't know if I believe her still. I just don't know. I mean, let's go. Let's hit her. Let's hit these people. Hit somebody. You know.
Would you like to, Globnik, make an insight check? You can determine whether or not you believe her or possibly spot some sort of discrepancy in what she said.
Insight.
All right. With a 13, thinking back on it, she's definitely a shady character of some sort, but the way that she said pirate and the way that she's dressed makes you think that is at the very least her background, if not her current occupation.
Weren't you a pirate?
I was a sailor. Yes.
Yeah.
But I also, the other dude's also a sailor. He is calling her cheap quite clearly and blatantly. So I'll go along with it. I'm going to go along with it. I get to hit someone, so I'm happy regardless. But
All right.
still a little bit of disbelief there.
I would say that. So our plan is to be here at sundown when this attacker makes themselves known. We will subdue them and well, do what needs to be done. And if Tarina isn't forthcoming with the information, then we will make her tell us the truth. Yeah. I do not know what else we could do.
Well,
Yeah.
wait and see.
Yeah.
Not happy about it, but I can't see any other way.
The options are as well, or kill the person that's in command in the chain of command, and then maybe get answers. Was that not a was that an option?
In which chain of command? I mean, you can commit murder about anywhere in Baldur's Gate. The bigger question is which
Tarina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she killed Tarina, but I mean, it's a possibility.
As far as we know, she's our only point of contact.
It's true.
Yeah.
Are the
True. I think we haven't got a choice, have we?
I mean,
like I said, there are ways to talk to people that have already been dispatched, so that is up to you.
So Felden would not be giving that information on purpose because he doesn't want to kill the person that he's been ordered to go and get information from.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He'll get in trouble.
The goose is aware. Ganderfrost doesn't present it as necessarily a viable option, just that if something should happen to her,
Yeah.
It still is possible to get information, just not as much as we
Okay.
might have gotten if she were alive.
We
So
would have to
something may
find
happen
someone.
to her.
We would have to find someone with the ability to talk to the dead as well.
The Flaming Fist does have clerics, but you're not sure if they do that particular variety of clericing.
And I'm also
I think we got to go with the easier option, or that's what I think. It's the easier option.
Intimidation.
and look, we're getting mixed up in that we were training yesterday, or we were trainees until we walked into the city, and now we're suddenly dealing with cults, and my entire city's been destroyed. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think any of us know what we're doing. We've been told to find this woman and get this information and go and deal with a cult. That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to take on the captain as well as some assassin.
Let's go with it.
I do. When you word it like that, it does seem like this is the lesser of two evils. So helping her would prove we are trustworthy.
I think between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. We can always question the pirate once he gets in.
All right.
Right then, our course is set. We have time to. What are we doing till then?
I'm hungry. Let's sit on the table and have something to eat.
Yeah, so we can gather
Food sounds good.
information
Sure.
about the goings on.
If anybody that wants to kind of listen into the local town gossip wants to make a perception check, see what we can find you floating around. Nice. I see 121, 123. Very nice.
I'm polishing my saxophone.
Is that a
You
euphemism?
do that.
Yes, I wasn't going to say anything.
I'm saying nothing more.
So, Riven and Globnik with the 23 and the 21, you're both listening around the tavern, and you can hear that apparently a lot has been happening in Baldur's Gate. Seems like the main commanding figure of the Flaming Fist is missing, and the position's up for grabs. Your captain's one of the ones whose name might go in the pot.
Who else told us that people were going missing? It was the captain, wasn't it?
Yes, he told you specifically about common folk that were going missing, though. Things like waitresses and not any nobles that they've noticed so far, but some of the more homebound ones might not be noticed for a few days if they left.
Is there a way to insight check a rumor?
Well, let's see here. If you would like to try, if you just want to use that to kind of gather more information and keep listening, there are a couple of people up for the position. Your captain is one of them. Another one is actually, I think a name that you might recognize, Riven. Hang on. I might have to find the actual specific name, but you recognize it. Infamous gang leader of one of the smaller gangs. Like whenever people talk about her, they refer to her as growing up in the sewer and tougher than a rat from there. But she is also one of the big names up for grabs. You've
Is it
probably
someone I know intimately, or
never met her in person, but she
Okay.
definitely has a presence that is known of, and you've heard of her and know that she's pretty ruthless.
Okay. As I'm gathering info, I'm gonna kind of just like relay some of it, not really keep any of that to myself.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna mention that I know of her or how I might know of her.
All right. So you all spend your evening listening to other rumors, such as some farmer somewhere saying, I'll bet my last copper piece that those so-called refugees are advanced scouts from an army that's preparing to attack Baldur's Gate. Mark my words, those Elgardians, nothing but trouble.
I'm
You're not listening. This is the two that are listening over here. So if you want to make a perception check to see whether or not you hear that.
I will make a perception check.
I am relaying info, so he would hear it directly from the source, not
Yeah.
from the source, through,
Right.
through me.
I
Yep.
will
Riven would be the type to start saying that and then realize probably shouldn't have said that.
I will stand up on the table and face the person who has said that and be like,
Oh no.
You find yourself looking at kind of a crowd of people. You didn't actually, like, you heard it, but you don't know which one of them said it. So you're just looking at this crowd full of tavern people that are all kind of looking your direction as you stand up on a chair.
you think my country people are coming here as spies? We've just lost everything. The entire city is a crater, and you dare to say that they are here seeking help. That is all. Just your help.
Bob Nick is just thinking this is why you don't talk about religion or politics in the bar. Yeah? That's what Rob Nick's thinking about.
A voice in the back says, "Oh yeah, were they trying to help when the Hell Riders attacked last week?"
We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's happened, apart from that the entire city's gone. And if there are attacks, then they will be dealt with as individual things. But the common people, the children that we passed in a cart on the way here, they are not here as spies, are they?
The people kind of all just look over at you. You do hear one quiet voice in the back going, "They could be halflings in disguise."
Felden, I think maybe just come down, take a breath. I know you've had a hard day, but you're making yourself look suspicious. I hate to say.
Look, we're the Flaming Fist now. We don't have to take that. We can stop them saying stuff like that.
Got a job to do.
And we could also get our asses kicked and our heads caved in before we even get a chance to find out what happened to your family.
True.
Think of your family, man.
Player me knows that Felden should sit down and shut up. Felden does not want to do that.
Can I slap Loga and get him to calm down? No, sorry. What is Felden? Can I slap
big dude.
Like, yeah, okay, you can.
Stuff and just get him to calm his something down.
Sure. If you want, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make an unarmed attack. It's just a strength check. You can't do enough damage to kill your friend just by slapping them. So,
Unarmed.
yes.
Right,
If you have,
where is that?
On the far left of your character sheet, it would just be where it says strength.
Just
No.
strength, yeah.
yeah, because you're not rolling with anything that you're not using a sword or anything else that would change that.
That hits.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right. Felden
ouch.
Waggle stuff. You take 1 point of damage as is necessary.
And that's probably the size of half of my body.
Yeah.
I didn't want
He
to have
starts to
do
go
that.
flying. I'll try and catch him.
I didn't want to have to do that, but I felt like I had to. Yeah, all right. Calm it.
I think Felden would storm out of the bar.
Okay. Felden makes his way out of the bar, and there's kind of a little garden area with some benches next to the thing if you're not looking to go too far, but you need to like sit down and get that breather.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that, you know. Words work just as well sometimes. And Riven will chase after.
Riven goes dashing out the door. You both see Skuna as you go by, and he, oh hey, oh bye. Oh.
See, now I feel bad. Feel
Yeah,
bad now.
Gandorfrost says, well, he was obviously hysterical.
He was, but I didn't mean to hit him that hard.
Everyone he's ever known is dead.
You were hysterical and making a scene. Maybe I made it worse. I don't know. I might have to go see if he's all right.
That's character development. It's okay. It works.
Really.
So
So,
I was just gonna say Felden is gonna be on the bench, head in hands, crying.
I think I'll stay inside for the time being. I'll let Raven.
Yeah. I was like saying,
be
like,
towards- Oh God!
give him a minute, you know.
Riven.
absolutely. All right. Riven, as you make your way outside, he is just head down in the thing. And I mean, you know enough of it about Eltgard to recognize that when he said his family was companions, there's all likelihood that they were next to the middle of the city when everything went down. That's who they are. That's who they work for. His family's paladins. They're people that set rights out of wrong, which obviously you can appreciate to an extent.
Has there been any point, like during training or the time that Riven has known Felden, that he has played a particular tune more often? Perhaps a favorite song?
Yeah, there'd be, there would be kind of a in my head when I think of saxophone, my brain just automatically goes to Baker Street. So I would have played Baker Street.
Riven will just sit down without saying anything, and the tune starts to play. He's using prestidigitation to do it, so it doesn't quite sound like a saxophone, but
It's got a music box quality to it.
yeah. And he'll just sit and not say anything unless Felden says something.
You will hear a kind of like a little chuckle, and Felden will look up at you. How can they think that all those people are here to do anything apart from try and survive? I don't get it.
I think it's just fear. Fear makes people do terrible things and say terrible things. You saw the people when we first walked in, they thought that Baldur's Gate would be the next wiped off the map. I do believe something is going on, something far beyond even what we can comprehend, but
How I left them all. I left them because I didn't want to be them, and I came here, and now I'm conscripted, and they're all dead. And we're gonna. The dead three cannot be unconnected. And how am I right in the middle of it?
Maybe
don't
you
know.
were to be here.
I don't know what to do.
I don't think anyone knows what to do until they have to do it.
How I I don't know how to do this. Griffin, I don't know what I'm doing. Globnik,
One foot in front of the other. We'll find who did this. We will do what we can to stop it from ever happening again. And you never know, maybe some of your family did get out and we just haven't seen them yet.
maybe. Maybe. I caused a problem in there, didn't I?
It could have been a lot worse. When we first came in, I noticed that given the opportunity, some people in there would have hurt us far more than a slap to the face.
Globnik really can land a punch. I'll say that. Maybe I should go in and buy the bar around. Maybe that'll calm things down a bit. And I'll get Globnik a drink.
I think at this point, everyone would appreciate that.
Then maybe I'll play some music if they'll let me. Something cheerful. Thank you. And he'll kind of hold out his hand awkwardly.
Revan will take it
And then
and
he'll
just not say anything, but just nod and we'll head in.
He'll straighten his clothes up a bit and then go back in and kind of walk to the bar, say, my friends, I apologize for my outbursts. How about a round on me for everybody?
You hear General "Hey" in agreement, as at first everybody's like, "Oh, okay, great, yeah, this guy's talking again," and then you hear "a round for everybody," and suddenly everybody just looks a little bit happier, a little bit more excited. These people probably, live to hang out with their friends and drink some beer on the weekend, so it's very welcome as you, Alan, the man working at the bar, the owner of the bar, Alan Alinth, takes multiple cups around and helps you pass out drinks and things. He pats you on the back briefly and says, I understand it's a tough time for everybody right now.
I do apologize for my outburst. As I said, I am from Outerwell, and it's a lot. Do you have a good rum? Could you bring a good rum to the table for my dwarven friend there?
I absolutely could. He's dwarven, you say? Do you think he'd like dwarven rum?
I would think so, yes.
I've got a case in the back. He goes out through the back door for a minute, and a few minutes later, Globnik, set down in front of you is kind of this familiar sight. It's a miniature keg. You used to have these at parties with your families on occasion. Just it's shaped exactly like a keg, but it's a full 2 pints of beer.
Amazing.
And I will just catch your eye and give you a nod.
I mean, I'm going to walk over to you and I'm going to explain that I think we had a job to do, and I know you're emotional and stuff, and I shouldn't have hit you. And I'm sorry about it. Yeah. So I apologize.